This video is about the best tools for employee onboarding, and I remember I read the report by Gallup that only 12% of employees are satisfied with how the companies have arranged onboarding. I assume this small number reflects that while companies are actively implementing AI, various business automation tools, data integration platforms, and they still approach onboarding unseriously. I don't know the exact reason why this happens. One of the hypotheses is that there are a lot of stuff changes every quarter, year in modern companies because technologies change fast, companies launch new products, people change jobs fast, and onboarding you can create it once and leave it as it is. You have to update it, you have to get the feedback from employees about whether it works and whether there are the problems with it and so on, and most companies just don't see it as a valuable investment. But if you look for a tool for your company how to improve this, like this is my list, and the first one is the Tango. You see it on the screenshot. The main value of this tool is that it helps to capture your existing processes, how your current employees do something, and create interactive guides that helps to do a new things for new employees fast. So let me show you an example. How can I create the interactive guide? So I click on the new Tango. Let's say I want to show my team how to create projects at site checker for ACO. So you see, when I click something, Tango automatically creates the step. It means the screenshot, the description of this screenshot, and when I click create projects, every step is automatically recorded. You see, everything what I did is captured. And there are a couple of also great features like voice transcription, when you can click and not just do the stuff in your web app, but also add some context, recording your voice, and it will be automatically transcribed into the text and added to the steps here. And another is the lib blur, because when you create guides, you often show sensitive information like user data, financial data, passwords, and so on. And with this feature helps to avoid it. You mark the fields that are sensitive, and Tango automatically blur this data for anytime you click on it. Another feature that is not highlighted here is the branching. This is available on the enterprise plan, but it helps you to create guides with multiple conditions. So you can say if this status of the some field, then go this way, if this status, then go another way, and it creates even more advanced guides for you. So when I created it, I click the create workflow. Tango creates it. Great news that I can easily edit it. You see the title is automatically created by AI, and it's good enough. Also, I can update the headings. I can add more context about what to do on which step. I can add comments and so on. Also, you see that I also can add a screenshot, add like zoom in and so on. The best stuff happens even after creating the guide. I can click like preview guide me, and every new employee, when they join the team, you send them the link to this guide. They click on the guide me on this page, and they don't have to switch between two tabs, your guide and your app with which they work. They just visit the URL you send them, they click on it, and they just do this step. Each step they by highlights, by tips in the app. So it's really much faster for any job they have to do. And also you can, let me create this guide. I reached the limits. That's it. When I created any guide, I can share and export it. So I can embed it to any popular knowledge-based platform. I can embed it as the HTML or PDF, and I also can I can see the analytics about who will use this guide, on which steps they stuck, and so on. So this is Tango. Then the next one is the BambooHR. Yeah. So I don't use BambooHR for my agency because I just don't have so many people here. But I'm using BambooHR used as a employee in the company, and I like its experience using of it. I like both the how the overall they build their profile, how you can ask for paid day offs, how do you see everything about what's going on with your team, who is absent, who are on vacation, and so on. But for onboarding experience, it's also have great features. Yeah, so it's just easy enough to start implementing all the checklist that your manager shared with you, and you go step by step, you see all important data and so on. So I would say that BambooHR is just good enough for many companies. Then the next one is the Rippling. I didn't use it myself, but what I like here is that it has not just onboarding by how to use Jira or something like that. Yeah, it also contains all information related to the finances, to the HR processes and so on. And it looks like a more complex platform. And yeah, I believe it's really good for bigger companies. Yeah, based on what I see on their pricing, that they sell separately the same as the platform itself, and related to the managing payroll, managing managing time tracking, recruiting, etc. Yes, so it's up to you to decide whether you really need all of this stuff. Yeah, again, for some agencies, I assume it doesn't work, but for bigger companies, it saves a lot of time and efforts. The next one is Notion. I thought when I started my agency whether I need Notion at all, or maybe just Google Docs is enough. But I found that it's really the problem with Google Docs, that when you create a lot of SOPs and guides, you don't have one place how to organize them well. Yeah, Google Drive is not the best solution. So Notion for me is just, it has better design. It's easier to create a lot of types of interactive content, yeah, that you can't add in the Google Docs. And then the second important thing, that it's easy to organize all of this data into groups, into like having one page for all other pages. Yeah, connect your calendar and so on and so on. So I believe that for agencies, and what I see on LinkedIn and what I talk with other agency founders, Notion is one of the most popular for running employee onboarding guides. Yeah. The next one is the Confluence. Yeah, so Confluence, I would say that it's a bigger, more complex, of what you can do with Notion. Yeah, and because it already integrates with Jira, and you have one profile for your customer, for your employee. Yeah, and you don't need to create many profiles in different apps. If you already use Jira, this is a great option. And for big company with multiple departments, you still need to manage permissions, and it looks like that it's much easier to do it in Confluence than in the Notion. Yes, so for bigger companies, I guess it's better. And also ran when I asked about which tool as a project management tool, should I use for my agency, I ran an user poll on LinkedIn. The problem is LinkedIn that I can use only 4 options here, not more. But I heard a lot of great reviews about the ClickUp, so I decided to compare to see what people will say, who will better. Yeah, I never use Asana, but yeah, I was curious that Airtable was so not popular, because I'm using it a lot. Yeah, and I see that for some part of onboarding it also can work well. Yeah, but yeah, the problem that I really tried ClickUp for a couple of days, but it looks too complex for me. Yeah, it's so flexible that it creates unnecessary complexity for me, and it's hard to manage it. It's hard to create the first structure to define what should be in which group, in which tag, and so on. So I don't like ClickUp for my use case. Yeah, So for me, my stack is like Notion, Tango, and Google Docs for now. Let me share which tools do you like, which onboarding methods do you use, especially if you run not a big company.